Wheat School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Syngenta Canada, Alberta Wheat Commission, and C&M Seeds.
Talking about the process then of developing new wheat varieties, is there room to, at this point we have the 50 characteristics that we look for when it comes to baking and milling and many of the functionality of new wheat varieties. Should we be considering nutrition as well when it comes to new wheat?
Well, you know, as somebody who works on...
Maybe biased.
I'm a little biased. I'm working with plant breeders on one hand and working with human nutritionists and in running clinical trials to make our prairie grains, you know, to utilize our prairie grains for health benefits. So I see a lot of opportunity actually. You know, there's a number of things in wheat that we just haven't really looked at. You know, we know they're there. We've screened lots of germplasm to know there's genetic variability there, heritable characteristics. They all sometimes are affected by environment, sometimes they're affected by processing, and we're well aware of those. And they really haven't been something that have been focused on in our regular registration process, which is very much concerned with traditional bread making quality. That's what the millers and bakers are asking for. That's what our breeders have delivered. They've delivered, products, varieties that can make breads with really good loaf volume, with wonderful crumb structure, with really nice bright color to the flour, and that's very important. You know, those are characteristics we need. They have ability to make certain types of noodles, ability to make certain types of pasta. They have very specific quality characteristics in terms of protein content, but nutritional characteristics have not been on, really on the radar for breeders to be breeding for. And again, this is something that comes about as demand, consumer demand, processing demand. And once there is that demand there, there's opportunity. You know, we know that a lot of the goodness of wheat, there's tons of bioactives in that outer layer, the layer around the outside of the kernel, the bran. Yeah. You know, it's loaded with stuff, and there's many things all the way through the kernel, but lots of it is concentrated in the bran. And these are things we've been looking at. We've looked at carotenoids, yellow pigments that are specific to bread wheats. Actually, and usually we try and get rid of those things because we're looking for a nice white flour, but those things exist. There's betaine, there's various fiber compounds that we haven't, arabinoxylans. Arabinoxylans are in the outer layers of wheat, and they're a soluble carbohydrate, a soluble fiber. And they're actually, something that's important, and there's a health claim in Europe for those particular compounds. No, we haven't tried to increase them. They're not part of our regular registration process. Could we? Yeah, absolutely.
That would require changes to our registration process here in Canada?
Well, I'm not sure whether it has to be the mainstream part of our registration process. I mean, there's the registration process as it stands has been developed through, many, many years because it works. It's allowed us to develop varieties that have exceptional quality characteristics that we're able to maintain. We're able to maintain over wide geographic areas. We're able to make new varieties, develop new varieties that are equal or better than what's there already. And we can have a lot of confidence in what's being shipped through our elevator systems and through at the terminal elevator and wherever it ends up. So those are really important characteristics. Whether there's a place for other pathways, for wheat that could have specific characteristics, specific companies that might want to manufacture new products out of those, I think probably there's room for that too.
And I guess at the farmer end of the spectrum or chain, this should add value to what farmers are growing.
Yeah, I think obviously, we know through looking at other other crops that just having some nutritious characteristics, some compound, bioactive, unless it's got super high value, which is possible. I mean, there are things that have super high value, and you are just growing the thing to extract it. There's many examples of that. But in the case of wheat, where we already have a product that can be made into so many products and feed so much of the world and can be grown so many places in the world, it really has, and it's an important staple food. But it's not to say it can't be also a health food. It's not to say that it can't be similar to other crops that are grown mainly for nutritional characteristics.
Such as oats, is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, I'm kind of getting at oats. Oats, we think of oats as a healthy food, and people eat oatmeal, and I always have thought, I eat oatmeal because it fills me up and it makes, and I think it's healthy. There are reasons for that. We know specific reasons about the fiber in oats, beta-glucan, and a lot of the marketing of oats these days has a lot to do with that beta-glucan. And in fact, when farmers in Manitoba or Saskatchewan or Alberta are growing oats, they have to grow, and if they want to sell it to one of the big companies that are milling it into a food product, if they want to sell a food, it has to reach very specific targets that are all nutritional. It's all about nutrition for oats. So, that's something that works really quite well. There has to be a target. There's a target level for beta-glucan. That's the fiber component that lowers cholesterol. There's a target for the amount of fat. There's a target for the amount of total dietary fiber. So all of those things are targeted. And, I think the same sorts of things could exist for wheat too.